Plankton traveled to the world 2,000 years later. By then SpongeBob had already died. Patrick had become a robot. Even the Krusty Krab had turned into an abandoned house. In a futuristic world, everyone could make any wish come true. It was all thanks to the time capsule invented by Sandy. All you had to do was put an item inside and it stayed preserved for 2,000 years. To make even more money for the future, Mr. Krab slipped a Krabby Patty into the capsule. At that moment, Plankton flew by on a rocket, trying to steal the Krabby Patty. Mr. Krabs caught Plankton entering the capsule and slammed the lid shut. Soon, 2,000 years passed, and Plankton finally emerged from the time capsule. He realized everything around him had changed completely. He returned to the chum bucket, where Karen had become an intelligent orb. To help him adapt to this future world quickly, Karen took him on a tour of the Bikini Bottom of tomorrow. First, they went to Squidward's house. To Plankton's surprise, Squidward's music had become a world-renowned classic, and his home had been turned into a music museum. Next, they visited Patrick's house. Now, Patrick and his rock home had merged and evolved into a highly advanced intelligent life form, but his only hobby remained sleeping. Then they arrived at SpongeBob's house. SpongeBob looked normal, but he was only a hologram. Karen told Plankton the real SpongeBob had transformed into a metal cube, but Plankton didn't care at all. Then he saw the Krusty Krab had long since shut down. Karen explained, with today's technology, people get whatever they want, so the Krabby Patty formula no longer had any value. Plankton broke down. All he wanted now was to go back 2,000 years. Karen led Plankton to the top of Sandy's tree dome, and to his astonishment, it looked unchanged. He mustered his courage and walked inside. Then Sandy from the coral camp jumped out from behind the tree. Plankton didn't care. He fell to his knees, begging Sandy to send him back 2,000 years. Sandy said that she'd been waiting there just for that purpose, because the tree dome was actually a time machine. With that, she pressed a button, and the dome trembled and in the next moment, vanished. After Plankton left the future, he stepped back out from behind a rock. Now, Karen could finally be with him forever. The tree dome quickly returned to 2,000 years ago. Plankton finally exhaled in relief. But then Sandy reminded him, "Did you forget something?" Plankton pulled out a bill and half-heartedly handed it to her. Sandy laughed and pulled a water hose out from behind her, knocking Plankton unconscious. It turned out she needed to wipe his memory of the secret formula and the future world. Once his memory was erased, Plankton wandered the streets in confusion. Suddenly, he saw Mr. Krabs tossing a Krabby Patty into a container. Plankton instantly summoned his rocket and zoomed toward the Krabby Patty. Something about the scene felt familiar, but before he could process it, he was locked back into the time capsule.